Monday. We are live. We are live everywhere. We are here on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We're on Jen's. We're on mine. We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
We got it. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited about tonight.
Tonight's
All
gonna be
right.
good.
All right.
Good.
Jen,
you
said you were kicking it off. So tee us up.
All right, I'm gonna kick it off. We're gonna give a 35,000 point view of what's happening tonight. Not tonight. What's happening on social media? What's happening on TikTok? What's happening on Facebook? What I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing. So, Caden, get your brother some pizza, please. We work with children in the background. We are moms building businesses in the pockets of our day. So I've been online for 10 years doing this. If you don't know my story, I was a retail store manager. I actually had a good job. I had a good career. I didn't hate it. What I hated was Sunday. And what I hated was my 2-hour commute. And what I hated was going home on vacation and thinking that it would be another 6 months before I could have another vacation, right? Like I was living for, make him some pizza, please. It's in the fridge. I was like living for the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And I wanted to make significant income. I'd always wanted to make a lot of money. And I accidentally made 6 figures on Facebook. I say that accidentally because it was out of sheer desperation. I was in more debt than most Americans. I was not going to go back to, number one, if I went back to work, then I admitted I failed. The career was not going to pay my salary back. And so I really was like, you know what, if I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to figure this out. And I had 2 kids in diapers at the time. So if you're watching this and you're like, well, I'm busy, Jen, or I've got kids, Jen, or I don't have a lot of money, Jen. Yeah, I had no money. I lost 6 figures. I had 2 kids in diapers and I was busy as a single mom. So I get it. I get it. Those problems are absolutely real. Add to that, you're like, I don't want to be on social media or I don't want to do video. I get it. I didn't want to do those things either. But I started to go to events, physical events outside of my home. And I started to meet people who $10,000 a month using social media was normal. It was their everyday. That was their job. That's what they did. And so I decided I had nothing else to lose. And I didn't want to give up. I mean, if I was going to go back to work or learn how to make $10,000 a month, my salary wasn't going to cover the debt that I was in. So I borrowed money from somebody to get started. And I preface this because if I can make 6 figures with nothing, we didn't have viral videos, we didn't have affiliate marketing courses, like none of this existed in 2017 when I got started. And I did it by creating an event every single week. And with diligence, I created an event. I invited people to the event. And then in between the event, I talked about gratitude. It was people liked me for gratitude. And then it was like, by the way, I flip houses. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. By the way, I flip houses, right? So they came to know, and then my daughters in the middle, they were part. I didn't know I was building a brand. I was desperate to get out of my situation. And it was working. It was working. I was sending cold DMs 1,000%. I don't consider them cold DMs. I'm a connector. So I got no problem with knocking on your door and asking you if you want to buy some Cutco knives. Like that's how I looked at it. I get not everybody looks at that. And I also get that people sell fear online, like without DMing. Like, what do you mean? Why wouldn't you want to knock on someone's door and say, hi, you want to be friends? Let's go play in the park. Like that's what we did in the 90s as kids. It's normal. That's 10 years ago. COVID happens and I realize I'm an affiliate marketer. I didn't know I was. I was selling a high ticket. I was selling something that cost $20,000. So I identified as the consumer of the product. I was a real estate investor. I was not an affiliate marketer. COVID hit. I couldn't real estate anymore. And I was like, oh my God, there's an IMA agreement, which is an independent marketing agreement. I think I'm a marketer. I think I've been marketing for 3 years online. I didn't know. I just was like, it's like there's teaching and then there's being a teacher, right? I just was teaching. I just was doing it. And so I started buying courses and reselling the courses because I needed to continue that. Like I had now created a lifestyle around making this kind of money, and I needed to continue with that. So I became an affiliate marketer, and then I got talked into network marketing. I have a love-hate relationship with network marketing. I love people, but when you are in network marketing, there is a lot of things that you still can't control. Okay. I can't control the commission structure, and I have built to teams and lost my money. I cannot control the ingredients in the products, and I have had products go backwards. I cannot control Israel, and I've had products not be available. And so for me, I like to control my income. I want to know when I go to work, and on Friday I'm going to get a paycheck. And maybe you can relate to that. And so that's a little bit of kind of the journey of how I came to now creating a 7-figure brand. I met someone who made 7 figures in her first year. Her and I collaborate on the back end. And then Lauren, this gorgeous girl, pops up about how long have you been in my life, Lauren? Do you know the month?
I think it was like early to mid-January. So 9 months.
Okay, it doesn't feel that long, but so she pops into my sphere. Thank you, social media, right? All my best friends I met on Facebook. And she's going through the program that I'm going through, right? We're making it work. And I had decided to do just a limited version of coaching. I don't really do a lot of coaching, but I decided to open up a few spots. Lauren immediately was like, I think I need that. I'm like, you probably do. So she jumped into incubator. And it's funny when people are like, it was a sales call. It wasn't a sales call. Lauren said, can I give you a lot of money? And I was like, yeah, you totally can. Like, let's do that.
Yeah.
So we started with the incubator, but I will tell you, Lauren does not miss her coaching calls. In fact, she asks for more. She does not ask me questions. She just does what I tell her to do. And she micro a little bit. We got to pull her back a little bit. Like, don't look at your post 3 hours later. Go enjoy your kids and then come back. It's safe. But she has done a phenomenal job, and not only just using incubator to continue so that she can quit her job and be a full-time mom and full-time content creator and travel. Like that's what we're here to do, right? Contribute to the house. But on top of that, she saw what she could provide for our community without asking for permission. And that's the definition of a leader, is when you see the floor needs to be swept and you're like, oh, there's the broom, I'll just sweep the floor, right? So she went in and started contributing. She went in and started taking over for presentations. She went in and started answering questions. And I was like, oh my God, I think I got a business partner. Oh my God, this is amazing. Oh my God, wait, what?
Partner.
So she started building funnels and doing all these things that were beyond my skills. And together we're kind of, we are collaborating on something. And we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. And then I want Lauren to share her story. But I wanted to just kind of preface this with, number one, where I came from. I came from humble beginnings. I did not go to college. I did graduate with a 3.0. I got a D in math. I was in algebra 3 years in a row. Like I'm good at making money. Don't make me add numbers together. Don't ask me how that works, right? So I'm not very smart. I was criticized for being skinny, for being loud, for my voice being annoying. And now, ironically, I get paid to speak. So it's really about turning the mess into the message and understanding that every single person, no matter what situation they're in, what they're going through, has potential for something more. Maybe the mansion, maybe the Maserati, maybe it's $500 to afford butter in Doritos. Like Doritos at $7.99 a bag. I'm like, babe, you got to stop eating Doritos. I love you. I'm not paying $8 a bag. These are what families are going through and having to make these decisions because butter and Doritos is stupid. And so we're able to help the average woman that's home with her kids, that wants to build in the pockets of her day, navigate social media. And what I'm really excited about right now is we're both TikTok. I don't know if you're competing with Facebook. I'm here for it though. You and I are homies. But Facebook right now, I'm at 600,000 views weekly consistently. As of 2 weeks ago, I started learning some new things. I didn't even pay anything to learn. I didn't buy a course. I just joined in Russell Brunson's offer lab. If you're not in that, you want to click on the link and get into it. It's free. It's free to learn this stuff. And so I'll come back to that, but I just like now is the time to start on social media. It's expected to be $1 trillion business by 2030 with what is coined as digital marketing or affiliate marketing. And I'll break those down after Lauren shares her story. So why don't you share your story now?
Awesome. So yeah, so I don't know how far back to go, but I had a good childhood by the sense of the word. From the outside, everything looked great, but I was silenced by no fault of my parents. I felt small. I always felt small. I always felt like I was on the outside. I never was in a core group of friends. I was always the periphery friend. So I went to college out of state. I was like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to reinvent myself. And so I went to college and I had the same experience. And then I was like, I'm going to go to grad school and reinvent myself. And I went to grad school and had the same experience. And I said, okay, hold on. Maybe this isn't a people problem. It's a me problem. At the time, I was dating a guy who would eventually become my husband. And that was a very tumultuous 10 years of my life. For the first 9 of them, I had no idea how tumultuous it was. Being emotionally, mentally, spiritually abused and manipulated. But out of that, I got my beautiful daughter, my amazing son that I absolutely love both of them to death. So, out of darkness, there's always a little bit of light, right? So I absolutely love that. But I still kept feeling this hollowness, this emptiness. I didn't know what I was doing. I always felt like I was performing. I was just out there doing. I had the 9 to 5. I looked successful. I climbed that ladder. I got all the titles. I was in the executive suite. I was making the money. I had the 401k. And so to everyone, they praised me for that, right? They're like, you're amazing. You're so great. But they weren't praising me. They were praising the part I was playing.
Right.
And that's what shook me to my core was when I realized I had been since my childhood playing a part, and I didn't even know who I was. I knew the part. And so some stuff happened at work. I saw the writing on the walls and I was like, I want something for myself. I'm tired of building for someone else, climbing someone else's ladder, doing someone else's stuff. I need something for me. So I was like, I'm going to start an online business. I had already gotten coaching certificates. I'd gotten my trauma certification kind of on accident. I was seeking help for myself, went through some courses, and they were like, you qualify to be certified. I was like, awesome. So I took a couple more courses, got my certification, but I knew I wanted to do something. So I tried it all. I tried to launch a coaching business. I tried to launch a sales business. I tried it all. And I was like, again, I'm a failure. I can't play the part of a marketer. I can't play the part of someone who's successful online. I'm not there. I'm a failure. And it was at that exact moment that this beautiful woman came into my life and showed me that that wasn't the case. That I had the book smarts. I had the skill. I had the knowledge. I was into the science. I had it. And I could help everyone else, but I wasn't helping myself. And she opened my eyes to that. And when that happened, everything changed. Everything changed. I became successful in business. I became successful around my house with my family. I felt something trigger inside of me that I was like, oh, that spark inside of me that I've always felt was jealousy or me not fitting in. That was me. That was me trying to get out. And so that is what was my revelation. Then I got laid off from my job, and that shook me again to my core because I was the breadwinner. I was the one making all the money. I was, and that was my identity. That's who I was. I was the successful executive. I was that person. But when I got laid off, it opened a whole new avenue for me that I wasn't playing at business. I wasn't playing at being a marketer. I could do something full time for me. I could do something full time where I was healing myself, I was overflowing, and that overflow could serve others.
Yeah.
Because for so long, I thought to serve others, I had to pour from my cup.
Yeah.
That's not true. My cup can be full, and the overflow that's coming from me serves others. And so I started the brand new TikTok. I absolutely love you guys. You are amazing and support me in every way. And I absolutely love all of my TikTok family. Facebook too. Facebook family has been growing and is amazing. Um, and I just started sharing my story. I started sharing the ugly middle, the messy crap, and I got to finally feel me. And so Jen and I were sitting there one day and we were talking about our lives and what was happening. And nothing can describe it other than a divine spiritual awakening happened in both of us that we could make a difference in the world. We could come together with my certifications, my knowledge, my science background, and her heart and her passion and her regrowth and her gratitude. And we could help other women to realize that that spark inside of them could grow into a bonfire. Like they have so much passion and potential inside of them. And that's what I want my overflow from my cup to do, is to pour into other women to see that, to not be the one on the back porch crying at night because they have no idea what's going to happen. Because when you find that spark, it all happens, whether it's business, whether it's a career, whether it's anything, that happens from that spark.
I love it. I have to say, so when I was building in 2017, that book that's right behind Lauren changed my life because it changed my point of view.
I love it.
I lost my money. I lost my husband. I lost my career. I lost my 401k twice. Like I lost. And it was that book that someone handed me. And I was like, I have nothing else to lose. And I opened it. I opened it, I read it, and I implemented. And when I say I implemented, you can go to Facebook and type in Jennifer Simas, Simas, and 2017 in the search engine, and my gratitudes will pop up from 2017. I shared it every quarter live. I created a group around it because I didn't know how to sell gratitude though. Now I'm shifting that with that, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. But that book, and I'm like, oh, she has it behind her, like it will change your life. So
it's amazing. It's amazing.
And yeah, I would definitely agree, divine intervention, right? I think so. Let's talk about resistance for a minute, because when you are resisting, you don't know you are. It's also called survival mode. And you're in this place where you're defending. You're just defending this, defending this, defending this, defending this, because you feel like you need to prove yourself to them. But really, the inner work comes from proving to yourself, what am I possible of? What consistency do I need to be at? What do I need to believe to get my first 1,000 online? What do I need to believe to lose the 30 pounds? All of these things. But if we're not looking at the inner, then we are focused on the outer. And that's called resistance. And I'm going to give you a really good example, because I literally just broke through what I feel like was the biggest resistance in my life outside of what happened to me in 2017 when I lost everything. So I've been going through a separation, and I have a company that I've partnered with. Now, I have been very disappointed in the past with companies and feeling like I was just a number, or I was only cared about if I needed to place my order. Like I wasn't supported, which was not true, by the way. That was Jen being poor baby Jen, and not Jen being empowered Jen. And so I won this trip, and I had so much guilt and so much shame around going and enjoying myself at this trip, which, by the way, I paid nothing for the airfare. I paid nothing for my room. I paid nothing for food. Like I don't think I spent, outside of souvenirs, I don't think I spent any money at all. The coffee was free. The alcohol was free. It was amazing. So, but I did not even go and get my passport until the Friday before the trip. And it was Punta Cana, because I was still wrestling with the idea of, should I go? Because I was in a season of not enjoying shit. I just got to hustle. I got to feed the kids. I got to make the money. I got to pay for this. I got, like, my focus was so much on what wasn't enough, what wasn't coming fast enough, what wasn't working hard enough. And so what I was trying to do was outpace that, right? And that's called inner resistance. And if we don't have what's called self-awareness, and self-awareness is just where you take the hat off and look at your thoughts, but you don't judge them. You just notice what you notice. Wow, I noticed that I don't want to go on a free trip. What is up with that? That's really weird. Wow, I noticed that even though I made this money over here, I'm not satisfied. Like, what is up with that? And then that's where you really start to do the inner work, which is what Lauren and I have kind of co-created together. So let me explain to you how this could be extremely heavy, right? So I go on this trip with hesitation and trepidation, like, the entire time. I land and I'm still like, I just want a glass of wine and a pool. And no phone. I did not want to be on my phone. I didn't want to send an email. I didn't want to build a funnel. Nothing. I wanted to be left alone for 4 days. That did not happen because I went with an amazing group of friends. And these friends had already chosen to love me. They had already chosen to pour into me. Lauren met them at our convention. We had already been a part of these people's lives. But I still was keeping this armor of, like, don't love me because I'm not good enough. I'm not consistent enough. I'm going to disappoint you. I'm not going to help you make your money. Like, all of this inner resistance, right? And so I had an amazing experience because I just decided to think differently about the circumstance after I got there. Like, what if I did choose to let them love me? And what if I did choose to let them support me? And what if I did choose to feel good about that? And if you are stubbornly independent, and also possibly disconnected because you might have come out the last 4 years with an opinion different than a parent or a sister or a brother or a spouse or a neighbor or someone at the grocery store, right? And now we've got red versus blue instead of, like, oh, you're red and you're blue. That's cool. High five. Let's go play at the park, right? Like, we should be able to have respectable. I mean, if I learned anything from Charlie Kirk, it's that absolutely debate with love and with intelligence, with guidance, and not, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know what you're talking about, and just destroying the world. And so I came out of this event and I came home, and for me, I reconnected with myself, which is also, for me, it's God. It's my God, right? I don't go to a church and claim it. I have a relationship with something that is so much bigger than me that the only way to describe it that somebody could understand is just to say God. I think it's so much stronger than that. And then I started remembering when I manifested. And then I started remembering what the gratitude did for me when I led with that belief system. And so I've documented this. I've been home for, I don't know, a week. I don't even want to count. Like, I'm home and I want to go back. I'm home and I'm building my bank account to live that lifestyle 365 days a year. But what I did is I've created some special journal prompts for myself and the result that I want to create. They're very much tailored to me and what I'm going through. And then I've decided to share them on my social. And then I was going to keep it totally private, but I have a really hard time with sharing good news. And so I was like, hey, Lauren, I'm going to do, okay, bud, go get Sissy. I was like, hey, Lauren, I got this cool idea. Like, do you want to do it with me? We're not going to monetize it or anything, but let's manifest together. And then just, hey, go get Sissy. Go ask her. And let's just see what happens. And I did that for like 6 hours. And then I was like, hey, Lauren, I'm going to create a subscription channel because I don't want to share my words for the world. I think my words should be in a safe container where other people want to share their words. So I'm going to create a subscription. And then, hey, by the way, what if we did this? And she's like, I thought this was going to be private. And I'm like, it's too good. And it's because I know what I've done. I know what I've manifested in the past. And then I got sucked into the dark the last 4 years. And so remembering like, no, I have the results to share actually, and watch what I create in 2 weeks. And just give me 2 weeks. And we're just going to do this for 2 weeks. And then we'll have some results. And right now, what are our results? We've got a journal. We've got a book already written. This freaking amazing woman has an app for you.
So that was the coolest, and that was the divine intervention, right? So Jen is talking about these like amazing journal prompts and this gratitude, and I'm like, yes, yes. She didn't know that I'd been building this amazing TikTok channel all by myself. It was secret. I didn't share it with anyone. And it was cathartic for me to build a community of amazing people that understood what I went through when I struggled, that I could help with my videos. And it was such an amazing community. And I already had this thing in the works. And I was like, Jen, I'm in the middle of building an app for trauma survivors to use to better themselves and help their healing process. And she's like, what? And I'm like, why don't we merge the app with your journal prompts and we can make an app that's not only for trauma survivors, but anyone who needs healing. And I was in an airport. I was coming back from Florida. I'm sitting there at a restaurant. The waitress is trying to take my order, and I'm like, hold on. We're in the middle of something. And it was born. That's why I say it was divine intervention, whether it's God for you or something else. Something bigger in the universe brought these two ideas together and said, this is what you're doing. And it was amazing. And so we took Jennifer's gratitude, like amazingness, and we merged it with my app and my knowledge of trauma and brain science. And all of a sudden she was like, I feel like I need to write a bunch of stuff down. And so she started just kind of writing a bunch of stuff down. It ended up being a book. We turned it into a book over the weekend. I wrote a response guide over the weekend. And when you're in alignment with what you're supposed to do, that's the amazing stuff that can happen. Is there's no human way that what has come out of this could have happened or could have been done by two humans. It couldn't have been done. There's no way it could have been done. But it is done. And we're so excited about this opportunity to serve from overflow.
Yeah, we're really excited. And it's interesting how it came. It was nothing short of divine. Like I was calling her. She was at the airport. I'm like doing this. Her brain's going left. My brain's going right. And together it is it will inspire. It will, if you allow it. Here's the thing.
If you allow it.
I went to Punta Cana so open for something. I didn't know what it was, right? I know people go to church. Kaden, please stop, baby. I know people go to church and they're like, I don't know what I'm looking for, but I'm looking for something, right? People go to a bar. I don't know what I'm looking for. People go to a dating app. I don't know what I'm looking for. I went to Punta Cana with like, I don't know, but I know I'm done feeling unworthy. I'm done feeling like I've got to hustle for the rest of my life. I'm done with the shame. I'm done with the guilt. And then when I put all of that down, God was like, oh, well, I got some people for you to meet. Like, come on, you little shiny, shiny mermaid. And so now we've got this project, and we'll go ahead and share that with you now. It's called Magic and Legacy for a reason. When I got started online, the sole purpose of learning how to make $500 a month to cover a truck payment was never the goal. I knew what I was capable of. I knew if someone could show me a system to make $500 a month, then I can decide how much I wanted to make. And I have done very well in the online space. And now I'm in the middle of scaling that. And so I could have never done that without, number one, that book, The Magic, and without understanding that nothing was happening to me and that everything was happening for my greater good, for my higher person, for my higher power. And that is its own work. And what I see in entrepreneurship and businesses, most of them don't make it past 10 years. A high percentage don't make it past 5 years. If you know Tony Robbins, you know he has an entire business mastery course, and the sole purpose is to get you to quit, because people are unwilling to do the inner work of, oh, my job doesn't suck because of this person and that person. My job sucks because of how I'm perceiving the behavior of what this person and that person is doing. Mm-hmm. So I'm not poor. My bank account might suggest I'm in the negative, but I could put in a system to create residual income and not have to worry about this. So it's really about doing that inner work. I wish that I had this program, or that I was invited to something like this. But I'll share with you, when I invested my first $30,000 into a business, I was here for real. I wasn't here to join for products. Like, I bought a business for 30 grand. They did not have mindset in there. That chapter was missing. But I went to a local group here in Arizona with Jeff Fagan. And just quick story, Jeff Fagan was the Oz behind the curtain of T. Harv Eckert, the Millionaire Mindset. And so they were childhood friends. Harv called him up one day and said, hey, I got this idea. And so Harv was the face and the stage, and Jeff was the Oz behind the curtain. And Jeff wanted to give back for everything that T. Harv Eckert taught him, and all of the stuff that they had created together. That Jeff had a local group called the 2% group. So that was the outside of the magic was the first book. The Millionaire Mind was the second book that was thrown at me. And that's when I really was like, I'm 35 years old at this point, and I'm like, no one has ever used this language in my life. No one talked about personal development. No one talked about passive income. No one talked about residual income. No one talked about thoughts or things. Like, what am I unlocking? And then from there, I learned and I earned simultaneously out of desperation. But Lauren and I have come together not only with our entrepreneurship background, and also our careers bring a lot of skill set into this, but also knowing that when you can open the awareness of, you're not an employee over here. There is not, I am not going to call you at 6 a.m. and say, you ready to work? And if you don't call me and tell me you're ready to work, I ain't calling you. But I'm not your boss. Lauren's not your boss. You are your own boss, which means you need to manage your time. You need to create self-discipline. You need to be there in a supportive role and help other people. And these are skill sets, if you've never had a job or a career, that they don't come natural if no one's taught you these things. And when you do the inner work, then the outer work, it attracts to you. You're not hustling and grinding and selling. Like, I can stand up very confident and say I am fucking amazing at sales, but it's because I'm patient enough to have more than one conversation with a person to see, number one, if it's a fit for both of us, to know if I can transform them, because I'm not here for the commission. I'm here to get them a transformation. But if they're looking for something and they're resistant and they're negative, like, you don't want their money, because at the end of the day, to be labeled a coach, right? Yeah, you can go get a certification, but I have street smart, actual people who have made money because I've taught them the right way to do it through doing the inner work. And that's the transformation. So this magic and legacy is about, number one, you've just got to believe in magic. To some degree, there is something you've got to let go of. You got to let go of control, because if you don't have faith in something, even if you can't see it, then you're going to try to control and manipulate every piece of it, and you will be a hustler forever and die very young. It will take a toll on your body, physically, mentally, spiritually, like all of the things. And so this accumulation of, not only is it a book where you get a peek into things I never talked out loud about being in a mental institution at 15 years old. I've never talked about having an eating disorder at 15 years old. And I didn't go into it in the book. That will be for later. But these are things that I have never publicly talked about. And these are things that I overcame as such a young girl, but I was in such devastation emotionally. We can use the word devastation and we can use the word trauma, but the truth is I just didn't have tools. I didn't have a therapist. I had very big emotions, I had very big feelings, and I didn't have regulated nervous system. I didn't know what it meant. And so if we don't seek out those tools to regulate ourselves now, then we have anger and we have resentment and we have frustration and we have stress. And if you've been living your life in survival mode for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, for 40 years, that survival mode is not going to reverse in 30 days. You're not going to get rich. It doesn't, you've got 45 years of frustration, and now you're starting a business and you think you're going to make $10,000 in 30 days, but you're still blaming everything outside of you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work that way. And we don't want to tell you, we want to show you that this is a product we both wish that we had back before we even chose a business. Like, what if I was going to be in entrepreneurship? It's like if you're going to go fight in an army, you go to boot camp, and boot camp prepares you physically and mentally. So we're mm-hmm. kind of putting you through a spiritual boot camp, if you will. There won't be there will be physical stuff because you have to write mm-hmm. your thoughts on paper if you're going to get clarity in your mind. Yeah. I would argue that point with anyone. If you can't see it on paper, you can't fix it in here when you've got 90, what do we have? Like 90,000 thoughts in a single day, and 90%, I think it's higher than that, but 90% of them are on repeat. How are you going to take that out and dissect it and look at it and do something with the information and reframe it? Like, you're not, unless you sit down with a pen and with a paper and yourself, right? You got to be all alone in this work, and you got to ask yourself some of the tough questions. But what I can promise you, and what Lauren can promise you, and she'll give you her accolades. She's got a lot of initials at the other end of her name, okay? I did it. I've also paid, I did the math. It was $106,000 within my first 2 years of entrepreneurship and coaching and mentorship. So I did the work, right? I had the Lawrence. I paid for the Lawrence and I did the work. 106, 107 grand in my first year, because I was, number one, I made that money. And I just wanted to reinvest it to scale myself. And so, so that's why it's called Magic and Legacy, because we're not here for $500 and we're not here to cover our bills. We're here so that our kids can do what's possible for them. They shouldn't have the same struggles we struggle with. That is a generational curse. Well, I had to walk uphill both ways. I don't give a shit. Why do I do it? Like, that's the epitome of a suffering parent expecting their child to suffer. I'm not here for it. I'm not here. I suffered too hard for my children to not have to suffer.
Yeah, totally agree 100% with everything you said. And that's what the legacy is about. It's about breaking those generational curses. We hear generational curse and we think abuse or financial mindset, right? But there's so much more to it. There's so much more to generational hand-me-downs that we don't even understand until we start digging in and doing the work. And that's the piece about this app that I am so excited about. It's because Jen added all these amazing prompts, and you do the work and you journal it and you write it down, but then you can feed that response into this app. And I've trained a AI agent to understand how I speak, understand how I do everything, and they will dig into your prompt and make you think deeper. It's not just you being like, yeah, I suffered with this. They're gonna be like, what else? And this. I've tested this app, y'all. I've been doing this kind of work for a long time, and I found out things about myself I didn't even know I had buried with all the other work I've done. This app is trained. It is smart. It is a therapist in your pocket, and it's going to help you do that deeper inner work that you need to do in order to accept success. Because that's what I realized is I wasn't getting success because I wasn't willing to accept success. So I was actively rejecting it. If I'm not open to receive success. Even the success I received from my job, I pushed it off, right? People be like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. Be like, oh, no, it wasn't a big deal. Because we're taught that as women, especially, we are taught not to be proud of ourselves, not to boast about ourselves, right? But when you do that inner work, you realize that you have shut yourself off from success, from prosperity, from all of the abundance that life has to offer. And so when you do this inner work first and you allow yourself to open, then whatever your dream is can come to you. If it's entrepreneurship, if it's making money, if it's, traveling the world, if it's climbing the corporate ladder, there's nothing wrong with that if that's your passion, right? Totally. It's not mine, it's not Jen's, but my sister.
We tried it.
Yeah,
I tried it.
It didn't work. But there are people that is their calling, and we need that, right? Because we need corporations to, do what they do. But it all comes from that inner work. You're never going to feel fulfilled by any success, any growth, any gratitude until you open that inside of you. And you're not going to open it inside of you in a day. You're not going to open it inside of you by reading one inspirational book. You're going to do it by digging deep, by answering the prompts truthfully, and then letting that AI agent that has all of my knowledge, all of my background, all of the training, go and prompt you to dig deeper, because there's so much more to it. I tried journaling probably 400 times, right? But I was able to block myself from going deep. It would say, what is your biggest fear? And I'm like, well, I'm scared of failure. But then that's all I had to do, right? Like, I didn't have to answer to anyone. I wrote it down on my paper. I checked the box.
Check the box. Right.
I checked the box. I was really good at checking the box. And then I'd be like, ugh, this doesn't work. Right? Like meditation. I sat in a room for 15 minutes, nothing happened. I tried, all of the things. Affirmations. I said I love myself 10 times in the mirror. Yeah. But if you're just checking the box, you're not digging. And so for those of us that can't get out of our heads, are the type A, the practical, the logical, this forces you to get out of your head and be open to accepting success, open to accepting abundance, that for so many of us, we were told was not for us.
Yeah. Yeah, we live in a world where the men get to go to work and go home, and the women, we don't. Yeah. Our day starts. It doesn't. Our day actually doesn't end, because as a mom, and I think listen, I'm not shaming men. Like, God bless the men that come home and do a dish and pick up the toys and contribute. I know there are a lot of men out there that are doing that. I'm on a call, bud.
See bingo?
I do. Thank you.
And working and parenting.
Yeah, I'm working right now, right? He's just in his undies, so I'm trying to. He came up naked, and I was like, "Oh, put your underwear on, bud." But anyway, as a mom, and then a wife, and then you're driven, right? Like, I'm convinced that postpartum is not a illness. It is what happens when you put an ambitious woman and you make her breastfeed for 6 months, and she doesn't feel like she has any help, and she can't take a shower, and she's used to having this career and this success. And this is my own story. But I have had people say, like, Jen, I think you have postpartum. And I'm like, no, I want to get the fuck out of this house. Like, why don't you take the kids for a week? Do what I do. I don't have postpartum. I don't have support. Anyway, I digress. So this whole accumulation of, and real quick, I just want to put in a disclaimer, because Lauren used the word therapy, and we're just going to be honest. We have created an emotional support bot. It's an emotional support bot for you. I'm 99.9% sure that Lauren and I have the credentials to call ourselves such things. However, I have noticed, I'm a good listener. I've been through a lot of things, so I could help with some stuff. But AI technology, when used responsibly and correctly, is helpful. I'm not going to say life-changing and all the things. Like, yes, it could possibly be. But you know what? Journaling is life-changing if you take the responsibility to your future and journal your thoughts. Meditation could be life-changing. I remember when I used to meditate and I would put a 5-minute timer on the kitchen counter and just 5 minutes, just okay, 5 minutes. All right. What do I focus on? Okay, my lungs. Breathe. Okay, 3 seconds. Okay. And I go, and like the 5 minutes felt like 5 hours, but I made myself do it for 5 minutes. And it probably took, I don't know, 3 weeks. And then I would just add a few minutes, add a few minutes, add a few minutes. And I got to the point where it was 20 minutes. I did it. I still do it. Now it's a little different. I can get myself into a meditative state, like I'm going to go meditate and walk out of the house and I'm in it. But it took me, it was a muscle I had to build, because you're almost building a muscle of relaxation. You're building a muscle of Zen. And if you've never done it and you've hustled and you're like me, I was really good at multitasking. I'm at the cash register. I've got earbuds on for my employees. I've got the vendors in my back door. I've got this guy asking me a question. Like I can compartmentalize like a man, because I was in that environment. And then you want me to meditate? Like, no. But it got to where I would meditate at 1 o'clock in the afternoon because it would reset my day. It was like waking up again, right? So to reset everything. And now if I don't get peace throughout my whole day, well, it's not good for other people around me, because I'm addicted to being all alone by myself in my creative bubble, in my creative space. And that's, they talk about like self-love, but self-love is not a bubble bath. It could be, but self-love is when you internally accept yourself. And then the bubble bath is a reflection of how you enjoy spending your time. But it's not just you shutting out the world and getting 20 minutes so you can have a bath. That's not self-love. That's actually selfish.
Basic human hygiene.
Basic human, right? Like that's not self-love. But when you like to be alone, like I crave being alone every day. Like whether it's, even if it's a podcast, there could be still input coming in, but I'm in a place where there's nothing there. There's no distraction. It's just me and the information. It's me and the journal. It's me and my email. And that opens up so much possibility because you've eliminated the distractions. It's the opposite of ADHD, which is just when we were in the 90s, by the way, it was called hyper. I'm a hyper kid. I've always been hyper. Now I'm 45 and people are like, energy. I'm like, well, as a kid, I was the too much, the too loud kid. Today, I never acted. Well, I had so my nickname as a young girl, this was how much my family loved me. My nickname was Toot, because I had an attitude. I had a chip on my shoulder because I had feelings. I had very, very big feelings. And rather than someone being understanding, I was labeled Toot, attitude. So guess what I grew up with, because we take on the identities that our parents give us. I had an attitude. You call me an attitude, I'm going to give you an attitude. Sometimes I call my daughter stuff and I'm like, whoops.
Back up.
Good thing I'm doing that in her work, baby. Let's journal together. So this book is it done? Is it ready?
It will be in the morning.
Okay, so the book will be ready tomorrow.
The app is ready. Everything's ready to go.
Okay, so here's what we have done. The book is $44. It's got 2 bonuses coming too. So the book is really about me and my story and how I came to overcome what I've experienced in my life, so that you get an idea of like what hell I went, like what qualifies me to bring you out of your hell. Here's my hell. That's what the book is about. Stuff I didn't talk about: mental institution, eating disorder, right? Being called too much and all that stuff. That's the book. Then you're going to get the workbook that is going to invite you to when's a time in your life when XYZ happened. Now, you can buy the book and have the book and put it on your shelf help and call yourself a winner. We want you to buy the book and do the book. That book right there, the magic, is because I did the 28-day gratitude challenge. I did it. I did it live. Go to Jennifer Simas, literally go to Facebook in the search bar and type in Jennifer, Simas, and just put the year 2017, and you will see them all, right? I'm all about transparency. My very first YouTubes on my YouTube channel, you can scroll all the way down to the bottom because those are my stupid, ugly, so grateful I did them gratitude videos, because that was the message I was putting into the world. And then I learned how to get people's attention with that message and then be like, oh, by the way, I just made $3,000 this week. You want to learn how to do that too? Like, that's how you learn how to sell, through connecting first online. So the book will be ready in the morning, but here's what we decided to do. And I think it's pretty special. We are creating something called the Inner Circle. It's 6 weeks of safe and private and exclusive. It's probably going to be like 30 women. It's not going to be big. You're going to share. You're going to open up, call it therapy. It's called Inner Circle. It's a safe place where all of us are going to come and share. I call them manifesting techniques, because if you don't pull the root of the tree out, that tree is going to continue. Like, the roots bear the fruits, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got some shit in the roots and you're like, oh, well, I'll just pour some more stuff on top of it and it's fine. No, you got to rip the root out, or you're just going to keep getting the same result. So we've got the book. It's got a workbook with it, so that you've got a companion. So the workbook will companion with the book. Then we've got an app. I can't speak to the app. I saw it. It's gorgeous. I can't speak to it. It's her gorgeous tech brain, but you get it in your pockets, right? And we're going to be adding to the app all of the time. There's a private community on Facebook if you want to see what other people. It's $5 because we are sharing our experiences in real life, what we're writing down. So that's a subscription model. We'll probably figure out a way to include that, I imagine, in the workbook. I don't know how, but
Circle has a community on the app. That when you're a part of Inner Circle, you can be part of that community.
I don't have to do the other.
And then if you want to continue with a community, then we have the subscription on Facebook that you can join as well. But during your 6-week Inner Circle, we're all together in one community.
Perfect. So you get the workbook. The workbook is ready to be sold right now. It's been ready. We've been selling it for a few days. It'll be delivered tomorrow. It'll be ready tomorrow along with the workbook. I've also created 2 things. Number one, I talk about, let me teach you how to sell before you have something to sell. Now you might be thinking, but Jen, that doesn't make sense. How can I sell something I don't like? If I don't have the glasses, how do I sell the glasses? Because selling is an internal job. It has nothing to do with the glasses. The biggest lie that people tell themselves is, I don't take the product, I can't sell it. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. So I'm going to teach you how to sell before you sell anything. For those of you who were like, I do want to get out of my 9 to 5. I do want to quit my corporate job. I don't know if it's social media. Maybe it's a brick and mortar. Maybe it's an Amazon. I don't know. Like, the sky is the sky is endless with the possibilities of what you can promote on social media from that point of view. You can create ebooks, you can create recipe books. Like, there's so much possibility with what you can do. But if you do not do the work in between right here, it won't matter. You'll buy it, you'll try it, it won't work because of what you're thinking about what you're doing. So this is going to take that away. So you're going to have, I can't think of the name of it. I'm in the middle of creating it, but it's basically like an abundance checklist. And it's just little things to do every single day so that you are on track for abundance. You're finding it, you're seeking it, you're validating that it's real, you're validating that it's here. And these practices are 2 and 3 minutes long. They're you can take it. I would take the gratitude challenge. I would take that book, and if there was a challenge, like some of the challenges will include pictures or bills. I would take them in my car. Like, when I tell you I obsessed with my point of view because I wanted out of debt so bad, I obsessed with this information. And so you're going to have the workbook, you're going to have the physical book, you're going to have the abundance checklist, you're going to have the app. You're going to have the selling training, how to sell anything before you actually sell anything. I think that's it for right now.
In a bundle.
For the bundle. That's the bundle. That's $44.
That's a good deal.
And here's the thing. You have until October 11th to get a full refund. Now, if you're watching this and it's October 16th, you have 3 days from when you buy it. You'll always have a 3-day money back guarantee. Like I will always personally guarantee anything I do. This is giving you, because we are pre-selling it until Inner Circle launches. So let me talk about what Inner Circle is, and then Lauren, you can talk to them about VIP.
Yeah.
Inner Circle is 6 weeks. It's $222. That price will go up to $444, but we wanted to give everyone in our Inner Circle now an opportunity to take a look at what this is. So it's $222. It's on a payment plan that's like, I don't know, $37 a month or something. Like, it's on a pretty incredible payment plan. Of course, I would check that box for you guys. And it's 6 weeks of private, Lauren and I co-coaching you guys in a safe community with the tools that we are using. And this isn't something where Lauren and I are going to teach you what to do and we're not doing it. I am doing this process in front of you. In fact, I have an envelope back there because I've been sharing it on my TikTok about how I manifest and what that process looks like. So I am manifesting with you and creating with you. Lauren's manifesting with you and creating with you. We're working through our shame and our guilt and our stuff, because the biggest lie that people tell themselves, in my experience, is that there's this place to arrive at.
Right.
When I'm at the $10,000 a month, then I'll get the nanny. When I'm over here, then I'll get the thing. And God or the universe or your own conscious belief system says, well, if you don't believe it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. So you're just in this constant, like, it's not happening, so this doesn't happen, so this doesn't happen. And you're in that constant cycle of hoping. Hope doesn't work. Praying. I won't say prayer doesn't work, but there's absolutely the right way to pray, right? It's thanking God for tomorrow. It's not hoping something happens today. If we believe God provides all miracles, then we thank him for the blessings, all the blessings. And that's the shift, is knowing that having an eating disorder was a blessing, and being institutionalized at 15 years old was a blessing. And all of these things that I went through were all blessings for my story, for my greater good, to bring other people on this journey. But you have to learn to rewire. It's a rewire. And so we're going to rewire you together in a safe place. And that'll be on Wednesday nights at 5. There's a link
Central.
to that.
8 Central.
There's an app for that.
Wednesdays at 8 Central, starting October 8th.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we'll be emailing this stuff. We're going to go live often and talk about this, the income streams that we have, like everything that we are doing. We are 10Xing. We are scaling everything very big. We want you to join us. We want you to, whether it's $25 you want to make online, $500 you want to make online, you want to lose 30 pounds, you want to find the love of your life. Like, we're here for that for you, because Lauren and I have experience with all the things. And so we're going to do that together with you. So why don't you tell them about VIP experience? This is Lauren.
So VIP just takes it a step further. So Inner Circle is group coaching. It's amazing. There will be so many breakthroughs that happen in Inner Circle. VIP is if you don't want to be in a group, or you want more of that in-depth one-on-one. And you can absolutely do Inner Circle and then do VIP. VIP is a monthly subscription. And right now it's $77. And if you lock in now, you lock that price in for life. It will go up at the end of September to $111. We're big into the, hold on. I got to keep my TikTok alive. Okay, there we go.
Me too.
It will go up to $111. But what it includes is the full app experience. It includes everything we talked about in the digital bundle. And it includes VIP messaging. And you will have access to message a coach whenever you need to. Now, I'm not guaranteeing you instant response. We have some work-life balance as well, but it will be priority response. We will respond to VIP messages before we respond to anything else. You will get that.
Between the two of us, it's safe to say we're going to respond within 12 hours. Like, we're going to be in there throughout the day, all day.
Probably
but
more like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But you'll get that VIP support. You also get exclusive webinars and master classes that we will put together and host on a variety of topics. So like we talked about, it can be about healing, it can be about manifesting, it can be about growing your own business, it can be growing your family, it can be tons of topics. And then you will get a monthly one-on-one coaching call where we will sit down, talk through what you've done that month, what progress you've made, what you hope for the next month. You'll get that one-on-one call. So for $77, like, I think we're insane. But for $77, you get a one-on-one coaching call, you get webinar and masterclass, and you get VIP messaging rights, and you get full access to the app. So everything we add to the app, any new books we come up with, any new journeys we come up with, which are like daily progress steps. And the anchor of the app is the 30-day self-discovery journey. Everyone should start with it. It's the 30-day journaling prompts that prompt you to dig deeper about what is inside of you, what's holding you back, and trust me, even if you think there's nothing and you've done all the work, there is more to do. Like Jen said, healing isn't a destination. You are never healed. You are never fully manifested. You are never, completely enlightened. It's a journey, and it will be a journey till the day we die. You are always finding more out about yourself. Life is always happening to you, and you're having to deal with what life is throwing at you. So this is a 30-day journey to discover who you are and where you're going after that 30 days. But then we're adding 14-day journeys here and there, 21-day journeys, 7-day journeys. You'll get access to all of that with VIP. And that's $77 a month if you lock it in September. Then it'll go up to $111, which is still a crazy price for everything you get. So, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, a coaching call with a coach like myself or like Jen would normally be $100 an hour.
Shit, just I'm $250 an hour. Sorry.
Talk about like a therapist, you're talking like $250, $300, $400 an hour. So the fact that you get the one-on-one coaching call for $77 and then all the other stuff, basically that's all free. So this is an amazing opportunity. I would encourage anyone to do the inner circle and then jump into VIP to continue that deeper work. If you're not ready for inner circle, you're like, I don't know about this whole group thing, do VIP for a little while and then jump into our next inner circle. Because we will be having inner circles all the time. So it starts October 8th, goes 6 weeks, which gets us right up to Thanksgiving. And then we haven't set when the next one will be with the holidays and everything. But VIP is every month. You can start now. If you start now, it's even better to get a one-on-one call for September, and then you can book your one-on-one call for October. So, you've got that right back to back. So I'm so excited about this. I know that there will be so much growth, so much empowerment, that it's going to overflow. It's going to overflow from me. It's going to overflow from Jen into y'all, and y'all are going to feel so much that it's going to overflow into other people. And that's how we make the world a better place. Yes. That's how we heal the world, is by overflowing into each other. Us overflowing into you overflowing into the people in your community and around you, them overflowing into other people, right? We have too many empty cups in this nation. We have too many empty cups in this world. But we can fix that one inner work, one prompt at a time. And that's what we're here for. And I'm so excited.
Yes. I love it too. So, should we, we'll stop it there. tomorrow we'll talk about, we'll intermix something. I don't want to confuse the two, so we'll leave it at for that. So there will be a link somewhere around wherever you're watching this from, because we are streaming all over the big universe,
all the things.
So you can click on the link to get started. You do get a money back guarantee up through the money back guarantee, by the way, is also for Inner Circle. If you get Inner Circle at 222 and you don't like the first call on the 8th, you get a full refund within 3 days. You email us, tell us, and I might ask you for feedback, but no questions asked. You can, I'll ask you. You can tell me you suck, and that's fine. But you will get a 3-day money back guarantee with the purchase of Inner Circle as well. So yeah, we're really excited. For us, this isn't about making money. We've got that set with the systems that we have online. This is about pouring in and being who we needed when we got started in our journey of finding a small business and being an entrepreneur and finding that for ourselves. So this is impact work. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited. Anything you want to close with, Lauren?
No, I think it's great. If you have any questions, my DMs are always open on TikTok and Facebook. Jen's DMs are always open. We would love to answer your questions. Leave a question if you're on Facebook or YouTube, on the video, because it will stay. If you're on TikTok, please message me or Jen, because the videos do go away. But we are so excited, and we're here to answer any questions you have. And we will be, like Jen said, live quite a bit through the launch on October 8th. And it's going to be great if you allow it to be great. If you're ready to make that decision. If you're saying, I don't know if it's for me, then you're blocking it. You're blocking the abundance that is flowing from you. If you're here and you saw this video, you're ready. You can do this if you allow yourself to be open enough to do it. So I'm so excited. So we will be back with you quite a bit, and we will see you all